Welcome back. So now we're gonna make a Poblano Relish, and we're also gonna make a pumpkin seed Gremolata to garnish your soup with. So first what I have is some charred Poblano peppers right here. So what I did with these, if you have a gas range, just turn on the gas, char them on each side till they're nice and black. And then once they get black, you throw them in a bowl and cover them with plastic wrap and just let it steam. What that's gonna do is that's gonna release all that skin from that pepper, and you can just peel it off really easily with your hands. It's okay, like this one has still a lot on it. It's okay if you don't get it all off. The char flavor is actually really nice in this, and it goes really well with the soup. I've also done one red chili, because you want this to be a little spicy, so it adds a little bit of heat to your soup. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the stem and the seeds, garbage bowl. And what you can do is, once you cut that top off, you can just squeeze these seeds out. Now the seeds and the ribs are where the heat lies in peppers. So if you want to avoid this being too hot, get all the seeds out. I'm gonna do it with this guy too. Now the Poblanos, with the stem still on, you can see that seed pod in there. So you can just take that off. Take the whole seed pod out. And if you want to do it, if you do it that way, stack your Poblano pieces on top of each other in nice little planks, so it makes chopping easier later on. All right, we get through the rest of these guys. Stack them on top of each other. Now when you're steaming your peppers after they've charred, they're probably going to steam for about 20 to 25 minutes. You want them to get nice and soft, and what that's also going to do is it's going to cook the pepper the rest of the way. All right, so now we've got those all de-seeded. I'm just going to run my knife through these really quickly. So we're gonna go slices and then chop. So just cut your peppers into slices this way. Like so. Give them a turn. And then just rough chop through it. It doesn't have to be exact. It actually looks better if it's not exact and looks a little rustic. All right, so there's our Poblanos. We're just gonna add those to a clean bowl, not your garbage bowl. And then we're gonna do the same thing with that red chili. Give it a quick run through. Both ways, like so. Go ahead and throw that in there. So these Poblanos came from the UW farm. They're really gorgeous. So there you have that. Now what we're gonna do is I've also got some of these purple young onions from the UW farm. And I've already cut the root end off and peeled the outside. Just gonna run my knife through the white part into the red part. Just like that. And you can see when it starts to, if your onions are this color, save these if you make your own stock, by the way. Always save those. When you're cutting through these, you can see the different colors in there. So you've got the white into light green, the white into the deeper green. Once you get mostly into the deeper green is when you want to stop. Then we're just going to run our knife through that again. Just like so. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Rustic is good for this. Not whole, but put that in there with your Poblanos. Then I have just a couple more that I cut up a little bit earlier that I'm going to add to that. Take the gloves off. All right, now to this we're going to add about 4 things. We've got some sugar here, about a tablespoon of sugar. That's gonna help balance that heat. I've also got some ground pickling spice. Pickling spice is bay leaves, red pepper, black pepper, allspice, clove, mustard seeds. And I just toasted mine a little bit on the stove, then ran them through the grinder. This is gonna give it a nice sweetness that you want, and a little spiciness. About a teaspoon of that. Now here I've got some apple cider vinegar. About 2 teaspoons. This is gonna give it a nice acidity. And then about a teaspoon of olive oil. Now what I have here is a salt and pepper mixture. So it's a 2-to-1 salt to pepper. And this is a coarse ground pepper. So I'm gonna give about a teaspoon of that. Give that a nice mix with your spoon. Like so. You can still see all the nice greens and purples and reds. Gonna give this a taste to see if it needs anything. Always taste your food, see where it's at. Needs a little bit of salt, and I think we're good. It's got some nice heat, some sweetness. All right. So that is Poblano Relish. Actually, I think I'm gonna add the rest of this vinegar. I want that little vinegar bite in there. There we go. That's what you want your relish to look like. Now we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna get going on our pumpkin seed gremolata. Wipe this off into my garbage bowl. So for your gremolata, you only need 3 things. You need some toasted pumpkin seeds, which I have here, a lemon, and some parsley. So, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna chop up these pumpkin seeds a little bit. These were roasted at 350 degrees with a little bit of salt and pepper and olive oil, just for about 15 minutes. But the key when you're toasting nuts is to stir them. You gotta make sure about every 5 minutes you're checking on them and stirring them so everybody has a chance to be in the bottom of the pan and get nice and toasty. So you just wanna roughly run your knife through these guys. Like I said, this is a rustic soup, so having different sizes is great. It gives different textural surprises in what you're doing. I think that's good. Just still some whole. Put that in your bowl, like so. And now, we're only gonna use the zest of the lemon. All it's gonna do is give us that bright lemon flavor without the bitterness and the sourness of the juice. So when I'm using a microplane, I hold it upside down so all of that zest goes into the microplane and you don't miss any. Just like so. Tap that in there. So you've got your pumpkin seeds and your lemon zest. Now I'm gonna take about half a bunch of flat leaf parsley, sorry. And I'm just gonna roughly run my knife through this. Stems and all. There's a lot of flavor in the parsley stems. So you wanna make sure that you're using the stems and the leaves. Nice rough chop. Sorry for the blender noise in the background. We're in a working kitchen. All right, so then I've got my pumpkin seed gremolata in there, all nice. So parsley, pumpkin seed, lemon zest. Just give that a stir. Make sure everybody's all together. This smells delicious. You get the nice earthiness from the pumpkin, the brightness of the lemon zest, and also the grassiness of the parsley. It's a beautiful combination. All right, so now that we've got all of our components done, I'm gonna set these dirty things aside and I'm gonna show you how to place this up so it's nice and pretty. All right, so we've got our acorn squash soup, our poblano relish, our gremolata, got a nice bowl here. So a nice big ladle of soup right in the bottom there, depending on how much you want, just like so. See that poblano relish is stirred. Kind of set that, guide it with your finger just around the soup, like so. Just some little pockets of heat and flavor on there, just like that. And then your textural element, your pumpkin seed gremolata with those pumpkin seeds and lemon zest and parsley. So you basically got every element of food in this soup. You've got sweet, you've got spicy, you've got savory, you got a little bit of sour. So this soup's kind of a culinary adventure, if you will. So I really hope you try this recipe. It's been a pleasure doing this video for you. Thank you, UW Farm, for your delicious produce, and hopefully we'll see you later.